I personally hated geography with a passion. It was a lot of information.
I found it so difficult.
I just find it quite interesting now, but I used to absolutely hate it.
At first, I really didn't enjoy business studies, which is actually something that I take for one of my GCSEs. I thought it was a lot of information and I didn't think that I'd be able to retain it all, but now it is my favourite and I do really well in it.
Probably theology. I just felt like it was annoying and I just didn't feel like I was learning in the lessons. But after doing it as an A-level, I kind of realised that there's so much more depth. There's so many more layers. Like, we look at feminism, we look at secularism. It's just so much more enriching, basically, at A-level. And now I actually do enjoy going to lessons.
Geography. But with the last 2 years, I've had a teacher and she's really helped me enjoy it more, and I really like it now because I'm way more interested in it and I'm understanding it more and getting a better kind of opinion on it.
I hated science in year 7 and year 8. However, in year 9 and year 10, I've begun to actually really like it. I'm not a massive fan of biology, but I quite like chemistry and physics. I think because in year 7 and year 8, all 3 sciences were combined into one lesson. However, from year 9 onwards, I've been doing separate sciences, so I just find it quite interesting now, but I used to absolutely hate it.
I hated maths at first because I didn't quite understand the topic the teacher was telling us. To be fair, the teacher didn't explain it that well as well, so it wasn't going into my head, and when we had tests, I found it very hard to know what to revise. However, now, since I've had a new teacher for GCSE, all the maths topics, they're starting to go into my head, and he's been telling us some very good maths revision techniques as well, so that's been very decent, and I've been more prepared for tests.
I did hate A-level physics at first because I found it so difficult, but I have worked at it and now I love it and I find it really interesting.
Geography. Hopefully my teachers don't see this. For A-level, that is, because I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it actually was. The content wasn't so much more detail. I learnt to love it, I guess. I mean, after working hard and looking at case studies and finding out how it linked in with new topics and across most of my subjects, it was pretty interesting.
I used to despise history. So in year 7, I had a really bad teacher for history, and this year I've actually loved history. I just like the way my teacher teaches history. She does it really well and it's good, it's fun to learn it.
I would say psychology. At first I was just not feeling it. Luckily my teacher was so nice and I love her, she's so great. It just became more interesting over time. Yeah, there was boring topics and I couldn't stand it, but Miss really had passion for the subject. And she taught it well, so it made everyone else interested.
It has to be poetry because initially it seems quite tedious and boring, but the perfect example of just a poem. You might read a poem once and you think this is a terrible poem. You spend 10 minutes analysing it and all of a sudden it's one of your favourite poems because of all the deeper levels of meaning that you have to read into for it. I think that's a great exercise in patience and curiosity.
I originally really didn't like geography. I found it boring. Now I'm doing very well at it and my teacher's a really cool guy. I've definitely improved. I'm taking it for GCSE and it's a good subject.
I personally hated photography at first. It was way too much work for me to handle on top of graphics and I wasn't really enjoying it as much. And both years that I've taken it, A2 and AS, I initially considered dropping out, but I found that the more I stuck at it, the more I was it's not as bad as I think it is, and it's worth it when you get the extra grade at the end. So as much as I'm still not 100% on it, it's something that I'm definitely interested in and maybe just don't enjoy as much in an academic environment.
I hated geography with a passion until year 10. I went to the community centre to meet my grandma on a Wednesday. I had geography last lesson and I'd go in and I'd just slag off geography to her and all that, friends of the art. Now I love geography. It's my favourite. So how the tables have turned.
I found English very challenging, mainly because all the people in my class were super smart. They all had 5 A's and it was only me and one other girl who got 6s and 7s or whatever. It just made me feel why try if I'm not going to get the same grades as these people. But as time has gone on, I've matured and I've just started enjoying the subjects because it's for me. At the end of the day, I'm doing it for me to get my grades, and at the end of the day, nobody really matters.